what does Andy Fredericks mean to me? Andy was to me anyway, a beacon of light that shone through the bullshit that plagues the fire service these days, and at his time, during his time. I mean, if you look at some of his articles jostled the fire service because the fire service, honestly, was if you've never heard of the allegory of the cave by Plato, the fire service was in that, and along came Andy, like I said, a beacon of light, and he basically removed the cap to that cave for a lot of people. A lot of people that things just weren't jiving between what was being said and what was actually happening in the real world when they went and tried to implement this stuff. And so I think that part of it is monumental. I mean, if you look through the works of Andy Fredericks, there's there's not a whole lot of fluff in any of the stuff that he's written. I mean, it's all straight and to the point. And the beauty of it is that I think we in the fire service take it for granted a lot of the time that we're in the business of putting out fires, and the way we put out fires is good engine work, and we can't ever forget that. And I think it's easy for the fire service to do. I mean, there's so many things that pull our attention this way and that, you know, based on funding and all sorts of other stuff, but we get distracted from the real root of what we do. And what we do is we put out fires. We put a working hose line between the bad stuff and the unprotected, and we make it better for them. And so I think, you know, Andy, when he hit the scene, he hit it in a big way, and it was very eye opening to me when I really started to study Andy's entire repertoire that he has out there. I mean, the guy was a combination of brains. He had studied the craft, past and present, and then he had the experience in the trenches to sort through the shit and find the shinola, you know, and then he was so gifted in his ability to take those pieces of great information of the bread and butter stuff that we do, the fire service stuff that we do, engine company work, and he was able to communicate that and share his knowledge, and in the process not demean anybody or to really put anybody down. And that's not to say that if somebody, you know, wanted to do some verbal jujitsu with Andy, he wasn't, you know, unwilling to stand his ground. I mean, the guy had a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience to back it up. And the thing is it didn't matter if you were from a big department or a small department. The stuff that he was telling and sharing was stuff that could be used by any firefighter anywhere. And I think that part of it is monumental for the fire service. It's so sad that he had to leave so soon because, I can only imagine what the fire service would be if Andy was still around. Luckily, you know, Andy left such a great legacy and so much stuff to be studied. And the guys that have picked up the torch, all of Andy's ambassadors, have done such a great job to continue that. And they have made such a huge mark in my world. They've kept Andy relevant. And that alone speaks volumes to who Andy was and what he was trying to do. I mean, you can look through the list of the Andy's ambassadors, and they're guys that are doing the exact same thing Andy did. They're sharing useful information, stuff that is actually going to make you a better firefighter. And I mean, that impact alone, I mean, I never got a chance to meet Andy. I joined the fire service 4 years after he passed in 9/11, and but through Andy and through all of his ambassadors, like it's still going, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, I can't thank Andy enough for affecting the people that he did, who have now become modern day mentors that are living, breathing mentors, teaching awesome classes throughout this country. Because I get to go to those classes, I get to go meet these mentors, and I never would have had that chance had he not existed, and that's the impact that Andy had. He he has touched more firefighters, whether they know it or not, than I think you could even quantify, and that speaks volumes. So honestly, Andy means the world to me, and I never met him, and I'm just a dude from Wyoming. You know, I cut my teeth in Colorado when I started in the fire service, and I moved up to Wyoming and restarted in the fire service. And Andy's taught me, if there's one thing Andy's taught me is that it takes a lot of work to be good at this profession, and that you should always be working towards being better. We get only so much time on this planet, and we should make the most of it. And if we're in this profession, we should be taking every available moment that we have to make it better and to make ourselves better, so that we do a better job protecting them. That's what we swore to do. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts. I mean, I could talk a long time about Andy, and I don't want to waste any more time, but Andy, till Valhalla, brother, till Valhalla.